iDiskiTV powered by World Sports Betting. Mamelodi Sundowns are the champions of the Carling Black Label Cup. Some of you will say we're not excited enough, so I don't know. Maybe we'll ask the videographer to put the smiley faces to show that we're excited. We've been here for 10 hours. Some of you will say we're not crying enough for Orlando Pirates, so we'll ask Justice to put tears. If we don't see tears in this video, rolling down our eyes, fake tears, we can blame Justice Chabalala. So Vilakazi, former Orlando Pirates player, of course also Mamelodi Sundowns player. I pressed you for a prediction earlier on. The reason why I was asking you for a prediction is because I knew that Pirates would have 2 hours of rest time. Sundowns had 5 hours of rest time. Sundowns have the best squad. They would be able to even play a different 11 and they would win. You were doubtful, but eventually you said they would win. What do you make of this game too?
Mr. Gil, Unjan Pit.
Yes, sir. We've been here.
Yeah. Well done to Eminwana Pezulu. You know, I'm one person that likes to learn, and I've learned the whole day today how football is. And when you think you know football, football can give you a surprise summoning, and that's what happened today.
But was there any surprise today, really, to be genuinely honest? Did we not wake up and think that Sundowns was going to win this tournament?
No, Mr. Kewa. I mean, I saying yes, I knew Sundowns will win a fair. That one I knew. But you know, when you look at how they've won easy as if you're going to be training, Mr. Kewa. So that's why you learn. It's very important that a team needs to have a structure. They need to have a philosophy of playing. Sundowns, you can see that the structure is a philosophy of playing. It's not something that those boys, they were born like this. No. The technical team has to work because there's a structure at Sundowns. There's a philosophy. This is how Sundowns they play. Whoever they buy at Sundowns, they look at him, can he suit in our structure? Can he suit in terms of the philosophy of us, the way we're playing? Yes, he can suit this. Backfire. Bega umbuli. Ngathi kudala ku Sundowns. Ngathi kudala getting Sundowns who's been there in years. Bega umkwena. It's because of the philosophy or a corner lapha ku Sundowns and the structure. So when what I saw Amazulu and against the Pirates, let me put it this way, Mr. Q. I'm 100% sure this is not the only players that Pirates have got. I'm 100% sure. So
before you continue, the ones that they played on game number 1 and game number 2, if they bring any other player, they are downgrading. Automatically, we know that. There's no disputing that it will be lesser quality players, whoever they play, right? Yeah. With Sundowns, if they are downgrading, it's arguable. With whatever 11 that they play with, 1, 2, 3, they have possibly 3 11s. The second one is going to be just slightly, but still better than all the other teams in the PSL. Their third 11 is going to be slightly of drop off from the first, but still better than all the other PSL 11. I don't know if we can argue that.
No, that one we can't argue. That one we can't argue because of the quality. It's something that the other teams, they can do it, Mr. Kew. And I'm going to that point, the good team. All the 4 teams, they knew. My winner final. They knew, Mr. Kew. So it tells you how do you prepare your team. A good team. I'm preparing this team for this game. You guys go and win. You take us to the final. Then when you get to the final, this team is going to win us the final. They've got players. They've got more than 30 players, Mr.
There is no other team that would have been better equipped today to play 2 matches 5 hours apart than Sundowns. There is no. Pirates could have selected their best team, which they did against the Chiefs. Yeah. That's why I was saying when the Chiefs game ended, I said whoever wins is going to lose against Sundowns because either they continue with these players, obviously they will be tired, continue with their best 11, but obviously they will be tired, or they can play a second team which is a second team which lesser quality, then they will lose again. However, whichever way you cut it, Sundowns is the most out of those 4 teams or out of the 16 teams. Sundowns is the best equipped team to be able to play matches 5 hours apart. I'm not even complaining about the fact that 2 matches are being played in one day. That's our tradition. Telkom Charity Cup, we've always had that. But the takeaway from the other teams is that your best 11 is your best 11. Whoever you play in the next game is either going to be your best 11 again within 2 hours, which you're going to lose, definitely, whether you like it or not, you're going to lose, unless you find a way to get 2 red cards for the opposition team. Or you pay your second 11, which is weaker. There's a reason why they are the second 11, because they are weaker than your best 11. Sundowns are best equipped to play this tournament. There's nothing we can say, other than to say perhaps at the beginning of August, we can say at the beginning of August, all of these teams could have splashed out 150 million, which all of them are not in a position to do so, to have 2 different squads or 3 different squads. In the last 3 seasons, they should have splashed out close to $500 million or close to 300 million in the last 3 seasons, right? Arguably, if we're trying to estimate what Sundowns has spent, 300 million in the last 3 or 5 seasons on players so that we can have 3 best 11s. We cannot look past that. I understand your point, but that team, Sundowns team, I could have bet my house today that they were going to win the final. That's how sure I was because of the squad strength that they have. And you even said to Justice that they're going to have a different team and they're going to win the final.
Definitely. You know, these guys, you can't touch them. You can't touch them. But one thing that I want, other teams to see is that it didn't just happen overnight. It took them time. Because yes, a lot of money took them time, because if you can remember, Aikalanga Izolo, Ikale when Upito Temakala, he lost. At some point, Uge Waba out of top 8 to Pizzo, and then build up the very same team, have Umukwena as an assistant, have Umangoba. It's something that it didn't start yesterday. So they're continuing from where they started by Kobegale. Where Upito left, that's where Umukwena and his technical team by Kobega Kona. And yes,
just one thing. So, yeah. Would I be wrong in assuming that Mangoba Mngqithi was a second assistant, gets paid more money than maybe 90% of the coaches? So the assistant coach at Sundowns gets paid more money than the coaches of maybe 90% of the teams, maybe all of them or most of them. Would I be wrong in assuming that? To illustrate how much money plays a part in this too.
Yes. No, I agree with you. I mean, yeah, I doubt they can match salary Coach Mangoba at Sundowns right now. Because of Sundowns, they've got money. We know they've got money. They can get, quality players. Well, no doubt about that. But now it goes back to say, look at also in overseas, they buy players, other teams, but the structure of certain teams and the philosophy of the teams, it also gives the other team, even if you can buy all the good players, but if this other team, look at the game between Man City and Brentford. The structure of the team, the philosophy of the team, they stick to that. That's why they upset Man City. That's what I'm talking about. Uguti, is another can have the stars. Yes, I agree. Pound to pound, you can't match 1v1, but it's a group, as a team, you can match Sundowns. If there's a philosophy, there's a structure, a proper structure and a proper philosophy, then you can match Sundowns. But unfortunately, here at home, it's so difficult. I would say most of the teams, it's so difficult to match Sundowns because of there's no structure, there's no philosophy. The game, that's why I'm making an example about Man City in the Brentford Uguti. This team, they don't have big name players. But look at Man City. They've got all the stars. But what happened? They've lost 2-1. Why? Because of Brentford, they've got the philosophy, they've got the structure. And their coach stick to their philosophy, stick to their structure. That's why they're upset. So, yes, Sundowns are a big team. They can buy any player. But now, when you look at the teams that are playing against Sundowns, do you see a structure? Do you see the philosophy of the team? You don't see that. That's why they get hammered.
All right, there you go. That's Tso Vilakazi. Congratulations, of course, to Mamelodi Sundowns. I'll always try to balance the conversation here because I think Tso can coach Sundowns and still win the league. Yeah. That's how convinced I am that the money plays a big part in it. And also, if Brentford and Man City plays 100 times, Man City are going to win 95 times. And normally, occasionally, they will lose 1 or 2 games in between there. But the money determines a lot of the results as well, which is not the same thing as saying they're not working hard. They are working hard, but they have all the best players. They can play 3 different squads. Right? That's Mamelodi Sundowns and winning the Carling Black Label Cup. It comes back next year as the Carling Black Label knockout tournament. All 16 teams will be able to play. There's no voting of starting lineups and so on and so forth. This was just a teaser before the World Cup. Next week is the World Cup. We'll bring you Bafana before the World Cup. So we'll see you then. iDiskiTV, iDiski Times, World Sports Betting. Thank you very much for watching us.